Hello and good day to you. It is Talkin really, and today's little gem is a very light-hearted look at 10 of the questions that people with the disability get asked by the able-bodied fraternity. Now, obviously, these are questions some are personal and some are downright silly, but in general, they are born out of stereotypes, ignorance and false assumptions. So obviously the social norms are often suspended when there are encounters between disabled and non-disabled people, i.e. you would never ask an able person, can you go to the toilet? But it can be seen as a question that could be asked of a disabled person for some reason. I don't know why, but that's the whole point of this article. Here are the 10 questions that you may or may not have been asked. So number 10, quite often wheelchair users are asked, do you need a licence for that thing? As are usually mobility scooters as well. Quite often they're asked, do they need a licence for the wheelchair? It may seem like an innocent question, but would you stop a cyclist or even a pedestrian? Do you need a licence for walking or cycling? You probably wouldn't. So number 9, again directed at wheelchair users, this is, do you sleep in your wheelchair?
Say what?
So in the same vein that you wouldn't ask somebody, do they need a licence, but they would treat it like some sort of car, they would certainly not regard it as a bed. Although I can't deny that sometimes if you're in a wheelchair, you can actually doze off quite easily, especially if you're in boring lectures. Oh, my friend's daughter is in a wheelchair. Do you know her? It reminds me of that film, doesn't it?
G'day. Big Dundee from Australia. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Just came to town for a couple of days. Probably see you around.
Fine.
But anyway, being disabled does not mean that you're a member of a big secret club where you know everybody and everybody knows you. What daycare centre do you go to? Now, this is obviously the assumption that all disabled people living in the community go to a day centre. And there's nothing wrong with getting support, but people shouldn't assume that, regardless of someone's disability, that all disabled people need to use them. Can you drink and eat normal food? So the idea is that if you're disabled, then you must be on a strict diet. There's questions that you've obviously been heard saying, which is, do you eat normal food or can you drink? Most disabled people do not have special dietary requirements unless they put themselves on it for whatever personal reason that they see fit. And certainly there's no limit on drinking. Do you have MS? Obviously, it's good that people are familiar with MS ideas, that they understand a little bit of how it affects a person, but there are many conditions other than that in the world. So the answer to that question is probably no. Number 4, are you okay? I've heard that before, actually. Are you all right? Are you okay? As if you're deficient in some way, or if you're in pain, or if you're having a bad day, or it can actually be very, very annoying when you get asked the question several times during your encounter. And obviously at the end of it, you're probably going to be very annoyed. Refrain from shouting out, yes, you are my source of pain, and I'm no longer okay. Number 3. Can she speak? Can she or he speak? Obviously, it's puzzling as to why somebody who's right in front of you would talk to somebody else regarding you. Like, can you speak? What's the name? What is their IQ level? Apparently, IQ is important and okay to discuss in normal circumstances. However, when I mentioned mine, I had a barrage of abuse, so it works both ways. It's certainly most impolite to inquire after people's IQs in their presence or out of it. But I'm happy to tell you that mine is quite a lot. Number 2, we have, is it contagious? Disability is a condition, it's not a disease. So you're probably not going to catch it. You can probably catch stupidity though. That's probably something that you can get. And of course, number 1, the biggest question that people get asked. Although I've never been asked it. Can you have intimate relationships? I.e., can you have a good old gangbang? Can you have a bit of the old rumpy pumpy?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But, you know, to be fair, why would any random person ask somebody, do you have sex? It's like you wouldn't ask it of an average person. So why would you see that it's normal to ask a disabled person? You wouldn't.
Oh, that was so rude.
So there you go. It is, of course, just a collection of questions that people have been asked. There are many more. Put them down below if you want, and we can do another video with those. But for now, that's it. Have a good day. Bye for now.